Hey, people, friends, family members, Dungeons and Dragons aficionados. Um, I've been thinking a lot about what I want to talk about, and I haven't quite settled on something for tonight, so I'm just gonna go in with the thing that's sort of piquing my interest right now, which is immersion. I come at this pretty much from a dungeon master standpoint, although there is a player standpoint to it as well that has a lot to do with listening and imagining what's going on. Um, so yeah, this is actually something that's very important to me because it's like with a great novel or with a great movie, there's this feeling of sort of losing yourself in whatever it is that's happening um, in the room. So so it's not that there are a lot of ways to achieve that as a dungeon master in D&D, and it takes a ton of practice. It takes a ton of confidence in what I'm doing when I'm uh, setting a scene and role playing a character. Um, that kind of immersion, and it also takes cooperation and really strong listening from my players. I mean, a dungeon master can be very good. I've heard it said, um, and if their players are not really feeling it, or they're kind of immature, or they're not, you know, connecting with the material, or they're cracking jokes the whole time, it can it. There's not a lot that you can do. I mean, it's like hiring actors who shouldn't be cast in a certain movie. It just doesn't necessarily work. Um, so I mean, it just doesn't work. It's clear. Like, you'll know if you're in a group like that. And then people go in and out of it. Sometimes there is a connection with material. Sometimes it seems sort of vague or tenuous. Um, so what I strive to do, I was watching a movie today and I was doing some writing and imagining ways that I could make my story more immersive, and a lot of it goes into the preparation that I do, um, and also it's like I don't know, it's like really engaging with my imagination when I'm actually telling the story. Um, and in some ways, I'm very focused on my players and I'm very listening to them. And in other ways, it's like It's like there's this third person in the room or this third entity in the room that is like the story that's like in between us. And that's created in language and sometimes with visuals, which is just another sort of language. Um, and it's also created through all the statistics and stuff like that, which again is another sort of form of communication that exists in this game. Um, so, so one of the main ways that I do that is I do my prep in such a way that that I'm telling the story with as many of the details as I can, um, that are relevant to the situation. For example, if they're standing on a boat in a harbor, I would say both of those things. I would say what time of day it is. I would say how many people are around, where the sun is, what's in the sky, what's on the horizon. Um, in a lot of ways, it's like not what you're saying, it's how you're saying it. It's like, are people connecting? Are they listening? Using audio cues is great. If you have sounds of ships creaking or seagulls, it can make a big difference towards immersing people. It sort of affects the subconscious in a way that's pretty good for like getting a level of connection. Um, yeah, this is one of the trickiest things, and it's something I really strive to do, and maybe haven't mastered yet fully. Um, there's there's like this gift that sort of occurs with when players are really listening and they're really living in the circumstances that I'm creating. It it feeds us, and a lot of my prep, a lot of my writing, I try and go into a lot of detail about the locations that they're in, being very specific about how things look in a given place and how it feels to be in that place, and the behaviors of the creatures and people that they encounter in those places, because that puts them in the moment. And that is ultimately like getting people present um, is the goal. You know, that's the objective, the constant focus. And it's not doing that is not it's not like easy to do. It's and you're not always doing it. It's like playing basketball or something. Like it's a game, you know, where like that's always what's trying what we're aiming for is like this kind of present time focus, everybody like bouncing off each other and things happening in real time, you know, as we're all kind of working off each other and feeling the narrative and experience it and taking actions and you know, taking risks, um, because a lot of what this game is about is action, um, and kind of getting out of your own way to do that. And characters that do get in their own way to do that will tend to fail or not have as much fun. It's the ones who are able to take a risk, to not wait for permission, to go with what's going on in the story. So when I do my prep, I have my little. I was just writing something right here, so maybe I'll pull this up. Um, I'm writing nighttime encounters for a river because I was watching Apocalypse Now, and there's a scene where they're on the river at night and they run into some people. So I'm writing that, and I'm giving myself just enough detail to work with. Let's see what I have here. Oof, computer's at 4%. This one's not. I might not make this. This video might not make it to the end. So what I have here is a dead explorer floating in the river, a dwarf with 6 large holes piercing her armor and chest, swollen. Nothing useful. So it's going to be up to me to pick in the moment who's on watch when that happens, who notices it, if they notice, where the body is, and then it'll be up to them to play it out. So that's kind of an idea. It's not a super detailed scene right now. Yeah, this is a big challenge as a dungeon master. So yeah, I guess I'm just putting this out there, and hopefully I'll talk about it more later on. Once I as my understanding of this develops. So thanks for watching, and looking forward to the next one. All right, good night.